I just want to let you know. This is the first of 3 in which I highlight an Aquarian, or a queer Aquarian, that I think all tie for first place in my heart to celebrate queerness, Aquarians, and my deep affinity for gay men. Join me for those, won't you? Anyway, so I do need to speak to Adam Lambert, so the rest of you could go to a farmer's market or make a snowman or... All right, so when we first became aware of you on American Idol, several things happened at once, okay? First, any queer worth their salt could tell that you were a gay man. However, back then, if you weren't loud, kind of boisterous gay stereotype, people that loved you didn't know if we could claim that for you. Then it was kind of like ambiguous, so then it was like, well, maybe he's not. Like, maybe he's bi, like maybe he's... And then star power that you had, no other contestant had had that before. They were talented and there was good, good bones for them to become a star. You were the first one to show up and just, hello, it's me, look at me go, singing his face off. He didn't win, which, where's homeboy now? I don't even know his name. I don't even remember his name. And I think the whole gay thing might have been a way for you to not win, but who's laughing now? So then the American Music Awards happened. We went from it being like, I wonder if he is, to it being like exclamation marks. All these fantasies that we had like leading up to that, rapid fire at us. The performance was amazing. I stand by what you have said in interviews. You went with the performance of it. That song is very much about sexual exploration and domination and submission, and it's kind of like the interplay. Anyway, that's how I read it for your entertainment. You went with the theatricality of it, but everyone thought it was still American Idol and you were just being Adam. I think that's why everybody was like, oh my god, it's too much, it's too much. Honestly, I just knew it was going to be too much for the general public, so I was nervous for you. That's a hot performance. You're one of the few artists that's as enjoyable to hear speak and conversate as they are performing. Part of the reason why you became a gay ambassador after all of that happened, American Idol and the performances and then your first album, and that's why. It's because you aren't a stereotype. Yeah, you're glamorous up the A, no pun intended. Camp, you're fun, you're goofy, but you're not lispy or limp-wristed. There is nothing wrong with being lispy or limp-wristed. That is kind of the only brand of gay that we had seen for a long time. The only one that had been purveyed anyway. So here you were, just kind of like this virile, strong, just sexy. You just presented yourself with an air of sophistication and your style, not to mention the voice of an angel that you have. Here you are with all of this, and then you're like, sorry ladies, love you but no. It makes a lot of women only want you more. I appreciate you for what you are. That's why I've always been such a huge following for you since you showed up on the scene. I tend to fall down these rabbit holes of interviews and social media clips and stuff like that that fans have made on YouTube. I don't have all of the social medias, so I don't get real-time updates from you, but I do know that when I see a song of yours pop up on my feed, like a new song or something, it's like a Christmas present. It's like you didn't even see it coming, which is kind of cool. I do feel like I miss out on like the day-to-day stuff, but I personally let you just be a mysterious creature of mystery. I don't really want to peek behind the curtain just because you're more well-known now and maybe more domesticated. I don't necessarily want to just tarnish your privacy. I don't mind not seeing daily updates and being like so immersed in what your daily life is about. Get a little binge and see like a whole bunch of them at once and I'm good. It just kind of feels invasive, all of social media. Certainly part of the turf. Doesn't mean it's not super invasive as well. But I'll go down these rabbit holes and I'll rewatch, or sometimes there's the same interviews over and over again. Most people I would just like skip past the one I've already heard. For some reason, I don't mind hearing you speak on any subject over and over again. You could read an instruction manual about how to operate a waffle maker and I would be like, completely riveted. It's a rare quality for anyone to have, let alone someone that has a platform and is in the public eye and always tries to seemingly use all of that for good and for a positive message and for an inclusive message. And I also think that that's why all of your fans are so loyal. Because we are. I've loved you since the first moment of American Idol, and I don't even watch that show anymore. And that sounds horrible. You know, I might get a lot of American Idol hate mail, but like, you were so dynamic. But that's why I'm so loyal, and I think all of your fans are, is that you bring it. Well, bring it. You've managed to stay in a lane that's all yours, doesn't sound like everybody else's music. Deep, dramatic kind of chops that you have. Dramatic, like acting wise, and like centered, introspective, kind of deep well of interest. I think that that's really cool, and I really appreciate that you haven't jumped the shark, you haven't jumped lanes or gone completely out of like your zone, but yet you stayed fluid enough that all of your albums sound different. I don't really want to see you do like a gangster rap album. Like, I don't think that that's really your vibe, but I'm sure you could do it if you tried. Like, you could pull it off. I don't know any other musician or artist that could have done Freddie Mercury, who is a god among men, justice, still keeping his same identity. You just fucking killed it. Who Wants to Live Forever, that performance after the Pulse nightclub, I can't listen to it without just getting like goosebumps on goosebumps. Scalp all the way down to my ankles. When you sing, it comes from a very ethereal, very hopeful, very surreal, like beautiful place. Just physically, like, you're so hot. I'm not saying that in a like lascivious like way, like I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I recognize with my eye holes when I look at you. Like, it's not often that I wish I had a penis. You, like, your YouTube makeup tutorial stint was so rad. I loved it. That intro is fucking fire. I learned something. Some of it was things that I already knew, because I'm a smoky eye kind of bitch myself. You were telling me things in a way that I could hear them, and I love the looks. Should you decide to do more, all ears over ears, man. Like, I'm here for it. We have a bunch in common too. Aquarians, born in 1982. Definitely a theater nerd, for sure. Did choir. I'm not on your level, but I have that kind of ear and training. We both, as I mentioned, have a proclivity for a smoky eye, beautiful giant sunglasses, the bigger the better, smart conversation, making art, and we're queer people, so everything that you got going on resonates. I'm very proud that we share this thing. I don't know how to say like an older woman. I don't like saying older or mature or anything like that, because it makes it sound like they're in this other category. Why women of a certain age, even that sounds like I'm saying that they're old. Not spring chicken ladies. I know why they love you and why you're like fucking catnip to them. You are equal parts best friend. You would check me if I was trying to leave the house and I looked off, and you would help me fix it. So you're equal parts best friend, fun dad or uncle. Dad jokes, and you've got that little like jovial chuckle. It feels like at all times you are a lady. Hard to pull off being both a lady and a fun dad at the same time. You do it somehow. The last component is sex candy rock god. Why wouldn't any person not respond to that and not really just want to... They're barking up the wrong tree, obviously, but it's that little like fantasy. Maybe it's that interview on Alan Carr Chatty Man where you said that you had hooked up with a chick. Maybe they're just holding on to that. Like, maybe it'll happen again. You know, like maybe I'll catch him at the right time and it'll happen again. Can't blame him for having a fantasy. I have a fantasy about you. This fantasy is you and me go shopping. Makeup and like some really rad platform shoes, records, like some old records. We go hang out and like try our stuff on, and we're like having a sing along, and then we eat like good food and have a couple shots of tequila, but then we like start like composing a song, making some cool like painting, or like doing a really fun photo shoot, or like just like creating fun, organic, spontaneous art. You can tell I think about it often, but it's like this comforting feeling. Thank you for being a pretend best friend. And there's one thing that I think we differ on. There's not many, because usually like during an interview, they'll ask you a question, I'll say something out loud, and then you'll say what I said, just from your vibe and just like your aura about things, but also because that's how I feel too. Like they asked you about who your first crush was, like your main crush, and you're like, and I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're like, Leonardo DiCaprio probably. And I was like, I did hear that you're not a fan of cats. Hear me out, okay? I was raised believing that I was allergic to cats and that cats were assholes and that we couldn't have cats because they were awful. And then I got one of my own. I rescued a feral cat. I have feral cats that I take care of that are just in my area. I have like 4 or 5. Just let them come to you and just build trust like, incrementally. And then they're some of the funnest, most loving creatures. Protect your energy field. They'll protect you from like any negative stuff, you know, which is that's a bonus. I know you're a dog person. I'm not trying to say that you need to get rid of Pharaoh and, and adopt a cat, but I'm just saying the right cat you will absolutely adore and will absolutely adore you. And they're just not dogs. You can't be aggressive with them. You got to be just receptive. In case that helps. I am ridiculously grateful to you for being the kind of person that didn't ask to be an icon or an ambassador for queerness or gayness or whatever, but you took it and ran with it. And you're wearing it well. You're wearing it like that cool crown you wore on stage with Queen that one time. I'm so excited that you stayed out of the mainstream so that you could maintain your integrity. Another hallmark of an Aquarian. Completely just grown as an artist, growing with your audience. I'm so grateful for all your music, for your entertainment, Ghost Town, What Do You Want From Me? Another Lonely Night. Technically, I can't count any of the Queen songs, but like I said, Who Wants to Live Forever? It's probably my favorite one. And Superpower. I love that whole 70s look. 70s are my jam. I have a remix that I jam to all the time. Thank you for being who you are, unflinchingly, unfailingly. And thank you for inspiring so many other people just to embrace their flamboyance, embrace their queerness, which you certainly helped me do, and just embrace individuality, humanity, and all of us taking care of each other, because I think you really believe in that. Because you're an Aquarius, just like me. Whatever step is going to happen next in your career, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm excited for the little like Christmas present. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Adam Lambert. To all the Glambert. Are we still Glamberts? I don't know. Yeah, I will always be a Glambert. If you're ever in San Diego, because I know you're from here, I would love to shoot the shit with you, hang out, talk about life and art, go shopping. Ooh, that would be great.